All right, guys. Let's go. We've got a banger of a match that has come highly recommended to me here. It is a match. It's from a series, but we're looking at it in isolation because apparently this was a standout game from the recent EPT EU Cup between ShoWTimE in the top right and his Zerg opponent in the bottom left. It's REYNOR. Playing on 2,000 atmospheres down here at Under the Sea. Of course, swimming around with the fishies. And it is going to be a low ground gate scout for ShoWTimE. Protoss versus Zerg. A very interesting match between these two. I think REYNOR the big favorite here. But ShoWTimE, he's known as Demour, De-Wall, and always a master of the defensive play. I think REYNOR's ZvP is tricky, though, because you can absolutely trick him and catch him off guard, but because he plays a bit of a variable style where he's not afraid to drastically change what he's doing, he can be a bit hard to kind of put your thumb on, get your finger on him, and get a good read on what he's doing. This is what we saw at Katowice. We saw him drastically changing his style against the players, game to game, series to series, and yes, there was a lot of queens walking across the map and Nidus swerving and that sort of thing, but he did really well with a big variety of different timings, different pushes, and that's why it's hard to take care of him. Already pulling one worker off gas here to get some more minerals, so REYNOR here going to be going for a slightly quicker third, a little delay on his link speed, and this probe from ShoWTimE just being very annoying, trying to force those drones to micro a little bit, but REYNOR's been really good at not letting his drones get bounced off the mineral patches, and no real disruption going down just yet. Second pylon up in the main base as well. Are we going to see Warp Gate? No Warp Gate, so it looks like a Stargate opening as the Adept does get chrono boosted out the front. And has actually added a third worker on gas now, has REYNOR, interestingly enough, but a little under mineral saturated in the main, funnily enough. And he pulls off there as he gets his last, that last bit of gas. And link speed should be starting up. Ling's now chasing the probe. Link speed does start as REYNOR moves out to take the third base. Adept moving across the map, Stargate up in the main, so it's going to be honorable macro openings for both sides so far. That being said, we've seen some drone pull speedling all-ins recently. I can't imagine the EU boys are doing that sort of build very much, though. That's very much a rogue or a dark specialty. It's not really the forte of these guys. Now, the Adept's going to come on forward. The Queen is going to be like, oi, get out of here. And the Adept just going to have a bit of a scout. Now, does ShoWTimE look for the gas? Ah, okay, yeah, he's going to go up into the main base. No, he doesn't let that shade finish. Just being very cautious. Overlord's going to fly on through, and there is an Oracle first on the way, so it's going to be an Adept Oracle pressure. Two Adepts are already here at the front. Link speed, 30 seconds away. So that's not going to create much of a defense here, and I do like ShoWTimE diving with this. Yes, there's 8 Lings out, but 2 Adepts against non-speed Lings, very happy. And, oh, he actually commits, but oh no! His Adepts get split up. Oh no! Oh, damn. Does get 3 drones and a little bit of mining time, but I think that could have been a bit better. I don't think either of them expected that shade to finish. I don't think ShoWTimE wanted it to. I think it was a mistake. I think REYNOR was like, whoa, what? You're actually going to dive in here? Of course, 36 probes to 27 drones there for a moment as more drones come out to catch back up on that, but it is what it is. Third base is trying to go down, but having forced a lot of Lings out, ShoWTimE wisely leaves the Oracle at home. REYNOR accidentally bringing a drone with his army. I think he's just accidentally put that on his army key. There we go. You see, he removed that from the control group, sends it home, says, okay, just the Zerglings. But wise of ShoWTimE. Yeah. He says, look, I don't have an Adept up. The Oracle needs to hang out here. And those Zerglings were hoping it was only one Adept and that they could get in the natural. The delayed Warp Gate, of course, Warp Gate doesn't finish until 4 minutes 15 with a Stargate opening like this. And sometimes you can bust their wall. If they don't leave an Adept there, they cannot warp in very early. Third base into double gas. 1 Oracle at home, 1 flying across the map. But REYNOR, he's delayed his spores a long time. The one in the main and the natural are finished. The one in the third just going up now. And plenty of queens ready to deal with that Oracle. Oracle's going to look for Maynarding drones. There is one to the right, one to the left, but good micro by REYNOR so far. Just avoiding any damage, and the queens are going to get some damage. Oracle will have to fly on out of there. It says 1 drone. And not bad, only takes 4 hit points of damage, so well worth it. Accidentally attacks his own Overlord for a little bit there. Does REYNOR. Slight mistake. Overlord still having free reign over the main base as a Forge, a Gateway, and a Robo are down. Now, that Robo plus early Forge, that is there to defend Queen Ravager pushes. That's what it's really, really good against. Early Disruptors are very likely off that sort of opening. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but with no Twilight down yet. Twilight Forge means you're going Blink Stalker or Charge Lot focus, whereas if you go Robo Forge, the Forge is mostly for cannons, and the Robo is usually there for early disruptors. Triple Oracle. Oh no, bad micro by ShoWTimE. Multiple misclicks there, and just not doing that much. The Adepts shade in, they get 3 workers where the drones got none. But they do get surrounded and go down, and so far, no real damage going down for ShoWTimE. He's lost more in the resources lost. He's still got 3 oracles, so they've got to do more than this. This is not enough. Oof. That being said, ShoWTimE's economy buildup is great. He does have +1 and an observer on the way, so I think seeing no roaches out yet, he seems to feel pretty safe, but he loses an oracle. Only 4 drones there, loses an oracle, another one gets deep in the red. These oracles just have not been as effective as you would like for ShoWTimE. He won't be happy with that one. And it is in fact charged in +1. So it was a faster robo, but ShoWTimE, I think upon seeing just lots of drones, no push coming, says, hey, I don't need to add the robo bay and go disruptors. I open up that tech so I can drop reactive cannons, I can drop a reactive robo bay, and I can go in that path if I need to, but I don't need to in this game. Oh, Sentry's getting surrounded. Gotta be careful. Nice force field plus shield battery backing him up though. Will be fine for now. Oh no, ShoWTimE! Dude, Protoss players always making that mistake. He's got to pull those back. Those are going to die if he doesn't battery overcharge. Okay, he does pull them back to the choke point. Meanwhile, Hallucinations scouting on around. HYDRA actually goes down for REYNOR. So REYNOR going HYDRA and Infestation Pit. And 15 workers for the 4th base, all being built at once. That 4th base went down only at 6 minutes 15. Not the earliest 4th base. But as it'll drone up very quickly, and he sees the drones coming, does ShoWTimE, getting even a couple of them. That's very important scouting. ShoWTimE warping in a lot of Zealots at the 3rd base. Those sentries having very little energy. Remember, he lost one of them. He has a 2nd Immortal on the way to join that 1st one. He's going to move forward and look for a potential cancel on the 4th. REYNOR has no units. REYNOR, if ShoWTimE just made Archons right now, he'd just win the game. Like, if he just made Zealots and Archons and he had a Warp Prism on the way, he could just kill REYNOR. REYNOR is being so disgustingly greedy right now. He's like, yeah, I got 8 Zerglings, 6 Queens, and 83 drones, and he's going straight into Hydras with no upgrades to defend. This is beyond greedy, and this is why REYNOR is so hard to play against. Serral would never do that. Serral would say, but you could die to XYZ. I love how when I'm casting, I speak in American. XYZ, XYZ. I've got to reclaim my Australianness. But he'll say, Serral would be like, hey, I could die to XYZ. That's bad, you know? I can't do that. I need to build a pack of Roaches and Ravagers. REYNOR'S like, nah, if I think you're not going to attack, I'm not going to build a single Roach. He says, I'll make Roach speed now, and now he's making Roaches? So that tells me he's doing his Lurker push. He's saving his gas right now. He wants to make Lurkers. I don't think he's going to make any Vipers. I think we're going to see Lurker upgrade and Lurkers, and he's building Roaches because they're much gas cheaper. The problem is, he would have just lost this 4th. Unupgraded Hydras are one of the worst units in the bloody game. They are terrible. They are terrible. They're so bad. Now they've got one upgrade, they're okay. Once the other upgrade finishes, that's when they become actual decent units in big numbers. But in small fights, they're very fragile. They're very expensive. They're just not that great. But I do think ShoWTimE missed an opportunity. And now it's going to kind of go to the next step where I think in this game, this is still a very fast Stargate switch, but it's not quite a Geralt switch. So you guys know I'm a big fan of Geralt, but the thing I'm most critical of him for in this matchup is his propensity to, at 110 or 120 supply, go, yeah, it's time to go carriers. And you're like, you have 10 units. Dude, and he's like, nah, I'll make a few more cannons, it'll be fine. And sometimes he gets in trouble because of it, but ShoWTimE doing it up from 140 supply, he's harassing with the Zealots in the Prism, he sees the units are there, so he just pulls back. He's just using this to make sure he knows where the army is. He's got Oracles out scouting, he's got cannon battery, he's got a good amount of Psy Storm here, and he is starting that carrier transition, +1 air weapons, 2nd and 3rd Stargates are going to finish up soon. So he is going to make it to airplay very safely, but definitely I think letting REYNOR get to Lurkers, maybe without as much trouble as he could have. Now, though, REYNOR establishes map control. Creep spreading all over the shop. Unfortunately, though, for REYNOR, no Spires on the way. So he's going to have to do something with this Lurker Hydra army before the carrier count gets too high. But a wall of cannons, a wall of Psy Storm, Archon, Immortal, a very good army against this. As I say that, though, big drop in the main. Storm zoning him out there. Zealots warp into the main. No cannons, no detection. Only one Lurker, but he could depower. Oh, if he gets the Forge, that means +2 won't finish. Over at the 3rd base, Force Fields are going to zone that army out for now. The cannons doing well. Units come up. And it was a depower and 5 probes. Not the end of the world, but the push is still moving forward on that third base. Lurker's able to outrange cannons by a whole 3 range. And look at this split drop. The Zealot Immortal getting confused right now about where it should be going. Looks like the Immortals will eventually clean up the main base, especially with the carriers popping. Over at the third, though, a few of the cannons have gone down. The Lurkers getting in range of this next cannon. There's only one last cannon here. And remember, there's only one observer on this map. Battery overcharge goes down because ShoWTimE realizes he needs to hold that cannon and this position. Storm, Immortal Archon comes forward. Battery overcharge, splendid. And as these Immortals close the distance, I think maybe he can clear it up. Yeah, wise pullback by Reynor there. Starting to get very dangerous. Couple drones go down to the Zealot run by as that Prism drops in there and then heads back to the dead space. No Vipers out just yet. I'd love to see one Viper to just abduct this bad boy. But Spires are starting up now as well. So he's going to start heading towards those air upgrades. Now, Reynor did this all off +1 range. He's got +2, but no second Evo. I really think Reynor needs a second Evo to start carapace upgrades. Because if he's staying on HYDRA Lurker for a while, which he clearly is with only one Spire, he can't swap off this for a long time. He needs to get upgrades. If he doesn't have carapace, Lurkers are going to die quickly to carriers. Hydras are going to die exceptionally quickly. So he needs a bit more. He's going to try and push into the cannons. A bad push, way too deep. He's got to get out of there. And he does get back, but he loses a couple Lurkers for his trouble. And this feels like ShoWTimE now on 3 carriers, soon to be 6 carriers with those next 3 building. Is in a good spot. He's adding Plasma Shield upgrades off +2 ground weapons. Does have +2 air weapons on the way as well. 2 Vipers are now starting up, but feels like Reynor's going from plan B to plan C. I do not really like his position. That being said, a great spine crawler positioning behind these mineral lines, doing really good so far. Spire, though, if those spines go down, Spire could fall as well. These spores aren't quite ready just yet. And Reynor's in trouble. He sends back a little bit of Roach Hydra. Hopefully he can keep his tech alive. Carriers over there skirmishing on the right side, but not really committing. ShoWTimE playing very, very slow right now. He's kind of chipping at the edges, but he doesn't want to commit a lot to this. He's more focused on his macro. I think that's okay, but he does need to get that 5th base sorted if he wants to do that. All he's doing is clearing creep right now. He does start a 5th on the right side of the map. Still has a Prism over there hanging out just above the Space Shark, as you can see. And if he can clear up all this map vision, he could definitely find attack angles. I actually think he could push in and win right now. Because there's a few Corruptors have come out, but that's probably not enough to deal with this many carriers. Ooh, and that's the intercept account's low. With Psystorms, with feedbacks, that could be powerful. I feel like ShoWTimE could break him. It does feel like Reynor is working with pretty low numbers. He's got 10 Lurkers, 4 Roaches, 6 Hydras, 12 Zerglings. It's not a big army. And they're kind of spread out a little bit. Like, he doesn't have many spines backing things up. He will finally get rid of that Prism, though. I mean, the Corruptors definitely had a good answer to the carriers. And ShoWTimE responds. Flux Veins does start up and a round of Void Rays. A few Void Rays, very good versus Corruptors, but very hard to micro. Against these best Zerg players, they're really good at just picking them off one by one and never standing in the prismatic alignment, which is where the Void Rays are fun and powerful. These 3 cannons in the battery are going to go down. No warp-in supply available for ShoWTimE and no recall available just yet. The Nexus will finish, but man, it's going to be almost dead by the time it does. His army's snaking its way over here. I guess losing this 5th is not the end of the world. It's just a bit of a bummer because this buys a lot of time for Reynor to start catching up on the upgrades, which, by the way, I've got to be critical. Reynor, I think he might be drinking with Roddy right now. Great micro. He grabs 1 carrier, was it? Yeah, just 1 carrier. I mean, but he loses this army. Why am I making fun of Reynor right now, guys? He's our world champion. Don't make fun of Reynor, guys. Pick! He's my favorite. I love Reynor. Reynor's a friend. Reynor's a baller. What's the problem with Reynor's situation? He's got 1 Spire making +1, and he's got 1 Evo that's just making +3. No carapace upgrades for air or ground. I mean, this is a scenario where his units ain't gonna be doing too good. +3 carriers are on the way, +3 ground. I mean, this is just a better army for ShoWTimE right now. The spores are scaring him back, but I don't know, dude. Maybe some disruptors would be real nice here. ShoWTimE's got to be careful. Oh, he decides to go in. He goes in. He actually takes out 3 of those Lurkers just like that. Great focus fire. Yeah, ShoWTimE realizes he can just fight this right now. He's going to come forward. Corruptors do come forward. His intercept account. Keep your eye on that intercept account, guys. These carriers. He's saying, cool, let's take a nice, efficient trade. But now he's got to pull back. Oh, he recalls. Oh, okay. A little scaredy cat there. I actually don't think he needed to recall. Oh, what is that? Oh, 2 Lurkers slid into the main base. Oh, my God. I don't know if that was a Lurker drop or they ran in the front door, but nice and annoying. ShoWTimE's going to have to put some more cannons down across his bases to defend that sort of stuff. I do think that ShoWTimE could maintain even more pressure, but it was a good trade. He picked off some lurkers, killed some spores. These are great trades for ShoWTimE. But look at that. The Corruptors and the Vipers, they're looking for carriers right now. He's like, where are your carriers at? Where are they? Sharking about, trying to find them. +2 air weapons does start up. Finally, the second Spire. Reynor realizes this game's going to go long. He's going to need to catch up in those upgrades, but it's going to take him a while to get there. So ShoWTimE definitely looking very solid right now. Thick Protoss army here. You can tell he squats. I mean, just look at the size of that, and the definition is fantastic. It's a very firm Protoss army. 4 Archons for reliable splash damage to kill Corruptors. Storm for amazing splash damage when they're very clumped. Void Rays for anti-Corruptor as well. Obviously, Storm splashes everything. Immortals, very good for killing Lurkers and Spores and Roaches. And the Carriers are your just kind of well-rounded shoots everything unit. 5 Gateways on the way. Does he have Blink? Okay, if you're going to make Mass Gateway ready for a transition, you always want to have Blink, just in case they go Broodlords. They're not there just yet. I think he fed back an Overseer there. Oh no, one of the Vipers. There was 3 Vipers. Oh, nice Storm, but he loses a High Templar. That's always the problem. Do like the way the Oracle is revelating that army. I think the Carriers, if they go in first, he clears this army. Oh, yeah. Wise pullback by Reynor there. If he stood his ground, he was screwed. Great feedbacks. Another feedback. The Vipers are out of energy. And this is great. ShoWTimE says, okay, you can't defend right now. Let's fight where your Spores aren't. But the Spores quickly move forward for Reynor. Is it going to be enough, though? One Observer does go down. Oracle does Revelate. Oh, he's got an Oracle there as well. I still think he can fight this. I actually think ShoWTimE can push through. Because, yes, it's Lurkers and Spores. Oh, there's 24 Corruptors, though. That's the problem, hey? That's a lot of Corruptors now. They are going to have +2 soon. Greater Spires on the way. He will start making armor as well. 6th base on the way for ShoWTimE. Adding more cannons and batteries, looking for those efficient pickoffs. And only 3,000 resources ahead is ShoWTimE. Remember, Interceptors do cost 15 minerals each. 10 or 15, one or the other. So it's not free. These Zealots actually pick off 3 drones. Unfortunately, not being microed there. And, oh, dude, this rich gas base is actually being mined by Reynor. Very well done. I can't believe he's getting away with that. He's just hanging on for dear life right now. His upgrade's slowly going to catch up. But look at that. The Spores disappear. The Lurkers will disappear real quick as well. The High Templar are a little far back, though. He's got to watch out. Ooh, okay. Not a bad Storm there. And he's going to try and pull back. The High Templar are a little slow to the party, though. Ooh, he gets hit by the Lurkers. He does get hit by the Lurkers. Where's those feedbacks? Feedbacks the Oracle, funnily enough. One feedback does go down. The Observer there is spotting the High Templar, looking for a juicy Storm. Reynor, though, so good at avoiding it. He dives forward with the Lurkers. Oh, a couple big Storms go down. A big Parasitic Bomb. ShoWTimE, how did he split that off? It was in the middle of like 30 units. How did he click that? What the hell? Can you see which unit has the spell on it in your bottom wireframe, maybe? I didn't think you could. How did he click that? God, ShoWTimE's good. He's very good at the crafting. And the stars. Both of them. Oh, Archon Storm, Void Ray. Goodbye, Corruptors. Lots of those do go down. Big damage across the rest as well. Zealots clear up this base in the bottom. This is looking good as he limits Reynor's space on the map. But Reynor says, as long as I hold this area, I think I'm okay. Is that going to be enough, though? Is it going to be okay? Vipers don't really have much energy right now. He's got 4 of them. And, yeah, he's trying to send him out to suck energy right now. He's got so many Corruptors, 36. It's actually time to build more Void Rays for ShoWTimE, funnily enough. It's not something you normally want to do. ShoWTimE going for a single Immortal counterattack says, get wrecked, Lurker. But no, the Zerglings will deal with that. Zealots run into that natural as well. They are getting cleaned up by Broodlings a little bit. I'd love to see more and more Zealot Warpins. It feels like Reynor. Lurkers just aren't very good for dealing with Zealot run-bys because you can always run past into the tech. And those Spires, very vulnerable. And ShoWTimE, of course, very focused on having the perfect army, though. That is how ShoWTimE likes to play. He's going to add 3 Tempests to just chip away from afar. I actually think he's missing a moment here where he could just be doing 1 or 2 more big Zealot Warpins. Of course, the reason this is working is Reynor is so fearful of the front army. So the only reason Reynor's kind of undefended in the back is because he knows that this blob here is such a concentration of firepower. Stalker and Zealot down there going to clear up this rich gas base. So ShoWTimE's going to try and take the bottom right as Reynor mines out this rich gas very quickly. Reynor's Corruptors over on the right side, looking around, seeing what they can find. And, oh, Oh, watch out, watch out. Parasitic Bomb goes down. He tries to split. Another Parasitic Bomb. Oh, whoa, he doesn't abduct, though. I think even though he kills some units, which is kind of nice. Psystorms, Archons and Psystorms, very big. He tries to recall out, though, because the Archons were getting jumped on by the Lurkers. An impressive dive there by Mr. Reynor. Oh, God, he's going to get on top. The Archon needs to hit. The Archons need to hit. The Archons aren't fighting right now. ShoWTimE with an accidental move command misses a lot of potential damage. A lot of his air units are falling right now. At the same time, Lurkers inch their way in range and got 15 probe kills. But a big Zealot warp in cancels, +3 attack. He's got a Tempest sieging Spore Crawlers over there. The Corruptor's trying to catch units as they pop out. The Zealots tear up the Greatest Spire. They get the Lurker Den. If they could kill that other Spire, that would be huge. These Lurkers still causing trouble, damaging that Nexus on the right. The Corruptors are going to come in. Is it P time? Is it P time? I think Reynor might go for a big old PP. The Cannons, though, are going to do a bit of damage. A few High Templar warping in, as well as Mass Zealot. The Lurkers are going to take out these Zealots, but only after a lot of upgrades have gone down. Only 2-1 for the air, up against 3-1-2. Soon to be 3-2-2 for the air units of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE's units have fantastic upgrades. They're much better. The carapace on the ground is still only at +1 as well right now for Reynor. So Reynor's still got this position on the left, which is very important, but he does not have much money to burn. ShoWTimE is actually richer than him right now, but ShoWTimE remaxing on a bit of a basic bitch army. That's the one thing that has me worried. And he's building observers right now because he doesn't have mobile detection. So he's building disruptors and observers. I would have liked to see the exact same army, because Reynor's remaxing on a super basic army. He's not even rebooting his spires because he's taken so much damage. Now, ShoWTimE losing this base is not the end of the world. A giant Zealot run by going to go in, and that's going to force a lot of units home. Oh no, one of the disruptors walked too far forward. And it floats off. These Zealots go in, but they show themselves way too early, and that's going to give him plenty of time to get back. So this Zealot counter needs to disengage. He should save this for a rainy day. Yeah, pull it back for now. Use it. Oh no, it's PP time. Reynor unzips his fly and says, this is how us Italians do it. Oh my god, the Nexus, not even cancelled, does go down. ShoWTimE luckily does find a hatchery down there. Lots of Archons, Immortals, Void Rays, and Zealots. And he's coming on forward with this, but it's still a pretty basic army. There is 28 Zealots in this army. I think if those were warping into the base during the trade, it would have been great. But now as the game settles down, Reynor says, hey, your army's not actually very good quality. My 12 Lurkers will annihilate Archon Zealot if they fight on the right angle. So Reynor, he feels pretty confident. I mean, oh, nice abducts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did he just kill 6 Archons with abducts? Yes, he did. Oh my god. I mean, there's a Zealot up there. But remember, this base has gone down. There's still a Lurker there being an absolute nuisance for ShoWTimE. And ShoWTimE here, oh, he's had some good upgrade leads, but now his mineral bank is gone. He's got a full base there. And he's got a full base down here. So he's looking good in the bottom right. Oh no! High Templar! Ah! Oh, 2 of them do go down. He's got more High Templar, but they don't have Storm just yet. And the funny thing is, it's 17 Lurkers, 10 Hydras, and nothing else. ShoWTimE's army is way better. If he just had some Disruptors in here, or some High Templar for Storm, and he could just jump on this. I mean, honestly, if he just had Revelation, I think if he just flanks this with Zealots, he kills it. But if he fights this one directionally, that's too many Lurkers. If he flanks this, or tries to base trade, that's the 2 things he can do. He cannot fight this front on. ShoWTimE needs to split his army if he wants to engage front on. It looks like he's going to just give up the bases and base trade. Say, okay, you take that base, I'll take the other side. Does Reynor know about the bottom right? He doesn't know. ShoWTimE's base in the bottom right might actually be the thing he needs to win in this game. Void Ray Zealot going to take out the spores. The drones quickly evacuating out there. Reynor very quick to adapt and adjust. A few Lurkers and Hydras left. Everything else is moving over to the left to try and respond. He's going to lose at least the spores in this hatchery. I think he can defend that hatchery down there. This game's super messy. ShoWTimE really needs to retake this base. I think he will in a moment. There we go. But watch out! Oh my god! Uh-oh. Does get a feedback. Loses just one Void Ray Fort now. Oh, big Disruptor shots. Oh my god, some very big Disruptor shots on Psystorms, but he loses all of his splash damage. He gets a few Lurkers, but then he loses almost everything. The Immortal and Zealots got trapped in that corner. A bit of a pathing error there. And that Immortal barely gets out, but it's still a mostly Zealot army here for ShoWTimE. He spent all of his minerals on Zealots, and now he doesn't have minerals to build tech units, and he's supply blocked as well. Oh my god, Reynor is actually fine. Reynor is still on a 39, very small drone economy. He's mostly on Lurker Hydra, just with a big Corruptor Viper squad. This is not the supreme late game Zerg army. It really is not. You can do amazing things with it with micro. I mean, that's what Reynor's showing us, but he gets a Nexus kill. He's denying the base on the right as well. He kills the Immortal on the left. Reynor is doing so much with so little, and we've seen him do this so many times against ShoWTimE and other players, where he brings himself back from the brink, where he's looking really, really dead, and then he just does a lot with a little. And there's something about the enjoyment that Reynor has, the pure love of StarCraft, where winning or losing, he always enjoys the process of playing out the scenario, and he never seems to get tilted under pressure. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, as he dances around just seeing what he can find. He's like, some of these are very risky maneuvers, but he knows he has to take risky maneuvers to pull it off. He's got to keep attacking. He's got to keep moving. If he lets ShoWTimE stabilize and kind of rebuild all the fancy tech units in his army, then he's going to be in huge trouble. But as it is, rotating around, finding damage, it's doing very well. Unfortunately for him, he does not know about ShoWTimE's base in the bottom right still. So he actually thinks ShoWTimE is completely starving, whereas ShoWTimE's like, yeah, I'm actually kind of okay. I'm still mining. Yeah, you got a bit of a bigger bank than me. My army's kind of bad, but I've got plenty of gas. I can slowly trade these zealots out. I'd love to see a few more run-bys. That would be awesome. Oh, Disruptor says, get out of here. Doesn't quite hit those lurkers. Lurkers are very fast. For those who don't know, the lurker, once it gets those adaptive talons, is basically a permanently stim-packed siege tank. That is how I describe this unit. Extra hit points as well. It's a very buff, permanently stim siege tank. Potentially way better damage, but nowhere near the range, and even weaker to getting flanked than the siege tank, in my opinion. So those lurkers only do splash in a line. Another disruptor goes floating. Oh my god! Did you see that spready? Oh my god, Reynor's so good, dude. He's so good. He's hunting these units down. ShoWTimE, I think he's got to counterattack with his zealots. He can't let Reynor just focus in one area like this. Reynor's too good with this army. Oh no, the disruptors! Oh, Reynor kicks ShoWTimE right in the balls. Uh-oh. ShoWTimE, I mean, he's really got to be counterattacking. He can't hold this back. He can't hold this back. He just can't fight it. It's too many lurkers, and they're too fast. They're running down his High Templar. How often do you see that? Zealot run by goes in and kills more drones. I mean, Reynor's only on 18 workers, but he's on 176 army supply of Corruptor Lurker. This is absolute madness. Once again, okay, lurkers are defending that base. If he can get the Observer there, though, the Void Rays and Observers will take it out. He says, oh, probably shouldn't run my Zealots into that. 4 lurkers do go down. The Hive's going to go down. Ooh, will it though? Will it though? Reynor, he's going to burrow those lurkers. Oh my god, the Zealots are just like, that's cool. We'll just run over here. Recall. He even recalls those Zealots. I don't know. They're going to recall up to that base. Lurkers take out an expansion, but it's not an important one. I think Reynor's starting to realize there may be a base in the bottom right. Maybe? Dude, he's got to realize. Finally, he catches these High Templar. The High Templar kill the Zerglings with auto attacks, but oh my god, the Storms! The Storms are good. The Void Rays on top of the unprotected Lurkers. This is a great fight for ShoWTimE. As I say that, the Corruptors do grab 1 or 2 Void Rays, but they take some big Archon Splash at the same time. Where's the Observers at? There's no detection. Where's the Observers at? He's trying to hunt down the Corruptors, but they are bait. The Lurkers do some big damage. He needs Oracles, honestly. Oracles are the best detection, but with these Lurkers spread out, they are creating a problem. A new base being taken on the left. Reynor is mining with 14 drones, mostly long distance for these 2 mineral patches on the left side of the map. ShoWTimE has a way bigger income, but the units lost is actually better for Reynor now. He's still got 14 Lurkers, even after losing all those Lurkers before. He's lost 48 Lurkers in this game, but look at that power, dude. And I don't know if there's enough detection. Is there enough detection here? The Disruptors are dying as they go in. He can't see them. ShoWTimE can't see them, mate. The Observers keep getting sniped. Oh no! A terrible fight for ShoWTimE. Oh no! I really think ShoWTimE could have chipped away at that and maybe even just rolled it if he took the fight just right. Okay, Lurker runs in and finally Reynor finds this base and is like, wait, what the shit? How long has that been there? Oh, dude, if Reynor found that earlier, he would have had this game in the bag. But look at this. His last bit of economy gets found. Ooh, Archon's finding Corruptors. The Void Rays are trying to get out of there. Oh, Prismatic Alignment. Oh, my God, they do so much damage, but the Corruptors microed very well by Reynor. Is it going to be enough, though? He's losing so many of them. That base in the bottom right goes down. ShoWTimE's out of mining. He has 3 Archons, 10 Zealots, 2 DTs, a Disruptor, a Void Ray, an Oracle, and 7 High Templar, which are chilling at home. That's going to be up against a very broke Zerg who can mine maybe 500 more minerals across these bases, but that's about it. And he has 32 Lings, 8 Hydras, 6 Corruptors, 12 Lurkers, 3 Vipers. Now, those 12 Lurkers are the big problem. Storm can wear them down over time, but you can't let yourself get cornered here. As ShoWTimE, you need that Revelation. You gotta watch out for these Vipers. Those Vipers are the real scary thing. No! No, ShoWTimE, you can't afford to lose all your high temper. Oh my god, Reynor catches him. He was totally unprepared, was ShoWTimE, and oh no, even yanks his ball. And at the end of the game, Reynor does come back and win it. So many good fights. The units lost tab. How often do you see a Zerg more efficient than Protoss? That is not meant to happen. 7,000 resources more efficient. GG, well played, Reynor, you absolute mad lad legend. GG, well played.